All right, come on back to your places. And now we're going to stand and sing. So now that you've sat, stand back up. All right, now this is an easy song. It's called My Soul is Welcome Here. It mostly repeats, so you'll get plenty of time to get it in place and just sing out and enjoy it and feel it, all right? He gives us a nice intro here. Feel free to move a little too. Get ready.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Dance a little.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Okay, give yourselves a hand. Excellent, excellent. And you may be seated. And please go ahead now and silence your cell phones as we prepare to go within and get centered into this morning. So you're going to hear some music, and then our lovely licensed practitioner this morning, Lori Greer, is going to go ahead and do the invocation to welcome us into this consciousness.
Right here, right now, in this moment. My soul is welcome here. All souls are welcome here. Dropping down into the stillness that this moment allows. I recognize the one presence and the one power that resides deep within me and within all of life. Knowing that this power is in every raindrop, in every cloud, in every star, every moon, every mountain, every river, and every person, and every place, and everything I remember. This is the divine influx, reflecting through infinite intelligence into every form of life. And so recognizing that I am a part of that, I speak my word in the first person, inviting each one to claim it for themselves, as we are all one. And so in this moment, in this place, and in this space and time, I open to that divine influx. I open my heart, my mind. I open my spiritual eyes to see the truth. I open my ears to hear the spiritual wisdom. And I open my hands to receive the divine gifts being given through this service today. And I claim and know that each one of us here today is here by divine appointment, and that each one receives exactly the message that is meant for today, as that greater activity of spirit pours itself forth through every aspect today. And so I give thanks and know that it's done, and so it is.
And so it is. I want to take a moment to introduce the soloist you're going to be hearing from in just a minute. Her name is Lisa Bell. This fellow is Bob Story. He does music with her often. She had a little bout of illness this past week and couldn't do everything, which is how come we have 2 songs from her, 1 from him, and 2 sing-alongs that we put together. Bless her heart. She has performed as the opening act for JVC Winter Park Jazz Festival on the same bill as Christopher Cross and Boney James. She also played as the opening act twice for Stanley Jordan, as well as for Alita Adams, and has been featured in Jazz on the Tracks performances on scenic trains touring through the Rocky Mountains. So she strives to create music that is transformational and empowering, and for about 15 years has been writing songs to make a difference. So this is Lisa Bell.
Daydreams all around us, but those ways and means still confound us. Can't move without a safety net. If there's a way, you can't see it yet. Lost among the things as we get older, while our passions slowly start to smolder. We can make it past the fear, but we've gotta take the time to make it clear. Meet me in the space between, where words are just formalities, where we can learn to trust the voice within. Meet me where the worlds collide, where the fragile veil is cast aside, so we can see the future coming in. In the echo of conversation is where we find our true obligation. We were never meant to stay the same, stuck here on the surface to remain. Meet me in the space between, where words store. I still don't know the how, but I'm ready to explore. 'Cause I want more, give me more. Yeah, I want more, searching for more. So meet me in the space between, where words are just formalities. We can learn to trust the voice within. Meet me where the worlds collide, where the fragile veil is cast aside, so we can see the future coming in. Let's bring it in.
So we want to thank Lisa for being a trooper this morning. We are still in the 2022 theme of living from the heart of wonder. And I don't know, there's so many things to wonder about, just looking at the world. I wonder how that works. I wonder why they did that. I wonder what that is. You know, all those sorts of things that we don't have answers for and we don't have to have answers for. It sometimes is an adventure to allow ourselves just to wonder and not try to fill it in with some kind of guesswork or speculation. Do you know what I'm talking about? Just to hang out in wondering. So this month, I'm talking about the theme, Work is Love Made Visible. And Suzanne Karch said something to me last week about work. You know, if you're retired, then what is work? If you are, if you're still young, you know, too young to have a job yet, or if you're independently wealthy and don't need to, what is work? And so I'm really speaking about work this month as a broader thing than what you do in your career or your job for income. I'm talking about the way that we interact with the world. It might be our creative expression. It might be our volunteering. It might be new activities that we choose to engage in that are unfamiliar to us, but we have the time or the opportunity to try them out. And in that experience, we begin to find aspects of ourselves that we maybe didn't realize were there. I've talked before about how anxious my grandson was as a little guy and is somewhat still in his teen years. And he got to go to a summer camp this past summer in which he was with a bunch of kids and they were electronics free. And now that's a big deal for him because his electronics have been so compelling, it's caused him a lot of problems. So his parents very wisely decided, okay, we're going to a flip phone for this kid. No internet access, just texting and phone calls, that's it. And then he went to this camp. Now, one of the things that they offered at this camp was zip lining. I did not expect him ever to do that. Not only did he do zip lining, but in order to get up to the place where they were going to do the zip lining, they had a couple of options for getting up there. And one of them was doing rock climbing. There was a rock wall, you know, and they had 6 different ways they could go up. And the way he described this to us is he said, Well, I wanted to challenge myself. Oh, I thought, hallelujah, thank you, God, because up until now, in my experience of him mostly, is that he doesn't want to try things that either scare him or he thinks he's not going to be able to do. And so the idea that he said, I wanted to challenge myself. He said, I finally had to admit I couldn't get up the one side, so I got help, and then I went up a different side, and it worked, and I got up there, and I said, and did you go ziplining? Oh, yeah. He said, I said, how was it? He said, it was great. And I just thought, it's a miracle. So the idea of discovering aspects of himself, his own ability, his own courage, his own willingness. I mean, maybe he knew those things were showing up, but it was really exciting to me to see them showing up. And we're never too old for that to happen. So part of our work in the world is the way that we interact with it, whatever our expression is, whatever our activities are. You with me here? Okay, so that's September. And then today, we're talking about we miss all the shots we never take. 100% of the shots we don't take, we miss. So if our fear is that we're going to miss it if we take it and then we'll be embarrassed, you can be guaranteed that you're going to miss it if you never try. It may or may not work, right? But at least you take the shot. Kevin Bacon has an old song from the Bacon Brothers group where he's singing about a woman he's attracted to, and one of the lines is, maybe she could love me, probably not. But you can't put the points up if you don't take the shot. And so this little story came to mind. This fellow's girlfriend, Karen, had gotten a job at a local hardware store, and he wanted to go in and visit her, but she had warned him, the owners don't like us having our friends hanging around. So if you talk to them when you come in, just tell them you're my brother. Thought, okay, fine. So he goes to visit Karen at work, and he goes up to the information desk and says to the older woman there, is Karen around? And she kind of looks at him quizzically, and he says, I'm her brother. And she says, oh, how nice. I'm Karen's mother. But at least he gave it a shot, right? It didn't exactly work out, but he gave it a shot. And so when we're looking at adjusting ourselves, we want to be able to do it with as much love and compassion and humor as we can. You know, if you give a shot, if you take a shot at something and it doesn't work, oh well, what's next? Onward. Is there another approach? Can I re-strategize? What else could I do? Or do I let this one go and look for the next one to come around? Rather than doing the, you know, I'm so incompetent, I'm so stupid, I can't possibly, I don't know why I even try. Does anybody's mind go into those little things ever? You know, and so when that stuff happens in the background, you can just say, as we used to, thank you for sharing, and go right on with whatever it was that you were doing. In Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, it says, let all you do be done in love. So that includes taking out the garbage, having a conversation with the neighbors, whatever it might be. And in Khalil Gibran, just to remind you, because we started the month with this, in the prophet, he says, to work with love is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. It is to build a house with affection, even as if your beloved were to dwell in that house. It is to charge all things you fashion with a breath of your own spirit. Work is love made visible. So work, in terms of our action, our activity in the world, is our expression of love, whatever it might look like. And so then the question might be, well, what do you imagine or dream of doing that you haven't done? Or what was a dream that you had when you were a kid that didn't come true and you just kind of gave it up or let it go? You know, remember last week when I was talking about following your bliss, following that pull from within, whatever that is? that when we do that, we're inviting the universe to weigh in, to bring us opportunities, to reveal possibilities to us that we hadn't seen, to introduce coincidences, apparently random blessings and coincidences into our lives. If we imagine it, then it's also helpful to think about, well, what is it that's actually stopping me from trying that or doing that? So, for me, when I was in theater, there were 2 roles I always wanted to play, maybe 3. But as I went through the process, I didn't have opportunities to do them, or I didn't get cast in those. And then eventually I was too old for those parts. So it was like those were dreams that didn't get realized in a sense. But in another sense, they did, because I still got to perform. I still got to be out there and do that. And what's to say that I couldn't do something like that now? Even though, I'm not going to play Annie Sullivan, who's in her 20s, but I could do something else, right? So the possibility didn't die, just the particular specifics of it. Are you with me here so far? Yeah? And so if our hopes, our dreams, and our visions floated around in there and didn't happen, then we have a choice about the way that we see that or the way that we interpret it. We can look at it as an opportunity that passed, or a shot that we missed, or didn't get the opportunity to take, or when we did take it, it didn't work out. Think about this. Michael Jordan said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again. That is why I succeed." Tony Robbins has said something like, success is usually a result of good judgment. Good judgment is usually a result of experience. Experience is usually a result of bad judgment. We learn more from the things that we attempt and fail at. You can't decide how much something worked or didn't work until you try it. Do I need another strategy? Was this close, but not quite there? Was I way off the mark? If so, what was my miscalculation? How do I need to readjust that? As any coach will tell you, this is from a blog that a woman put up. As any coach will tell you, missed shots are a part of the game. A missed shot can be a heartbreaker. It's when you realize that success was within your grasp, but it somehow slipped through your fingers. But if you never miss, you'll never know how close you can come to getting what you want. So when you always take the assured shot, and there's never any doubt, then eventually that becomes boring because you've done it already. But what is exciting is taking that shot from another angle or from further away or when there's more interference, challenging ourselves, right? And she says, the hypnotist Paul McKenna used to talk about the nerdy guy who wants to ask a girl for a date. And he sees her when he and his friends are out one evening, and he thinks about walking over to her. He might even take a few steps toward her, but then he thinks about how gutted he'll feel when she says no, if she doesn't blank him first. He keeps thinking about how he'll feel, how he might fail, and feels that failure as real before he's ever even reached her. And so he turns around and returns to his friends. There's a shot he missed because he never took it. And so then she goes on to say, the power of mental rehearsal is recognized as a powerful way to achieve what you want. It's recommended to sports people. It's recommended to business people. She says, if I want to think about baking a cake, I can think about it all I want, and I still won't have a cake. But if I think about the steps needed to bake the cake, I'm more likely to get up and take those steps. In the process of thinking about something that seems overwhelming and working our way through it mentally, we can direct ourselves into an envisionment of it working well. Now, this fellow in the story unwittingly was using mental rehearsal to talk himself out of doing something that he wanted to do. But Joe Dispenza tells a story in his book, Evolve Your Brain, about an experiment where participants were encouraged to mentally rehearse. And so they were divided into two groups to do one-handed piano exercises for 2 hours a day for 5 days. And half the group never touched the piano. It was all mental rehearsal. The other half of the group physically did the exercises. And those that did not have a piano to do it on and only did it mentally demonstrated almost the same brain changes as people who physically performed the identical finger movements on a piano keyboard for the same length of time. Functional brain scans showed that all the participants activated and expanded clusters of neurons in the same specific area of the brain. So the group who mentally rehearsed practicing grew nearly the same number of brain connections as the group who physically practiced. So not only can we change our brains just by thinking differently, but when we're truly focused and single-minded, the brain does not know the difference between a vividly imagined event and an actual experience in the external environments. Our thoughts can become our experience. And so those who practice something that looks difficult to do, even simply mentally, increase the possibility of doing that thing successfully because the brain makes the same adjustments in its geography to support doing that. And that is, I think, a wonderful key to our lives, to have that amazing capability of changing our brains by thinking about something, by envisioning something, by entering into it, not only as if we're imagining that we're there, but also imagining what moves, how it feels, how we feel emotionally, what our breathing is like, really imagining it all, imagining ourselves working up a sweat, imagine ourselves really doing well at whatever it is. As we do that, we actually increase our skill level without embarrassing ourselves, unless we start imagining ourselves screwing up a lot. You see, it's up to us how we imagine the process. We can imagine ourselves improving as we go, getting better at putting spin on the tennis ball or whatever it might be. So, as we go forward in this experience, we begin to come into Toby's kind of attitude of, I want to challenge myself. I want to stretch a little bit. I want to grow. I feel stuck, so I want to change this perspective. I want to change my experience, my ability, my confidence level, whatever it might be. I begin to wonder if Charlie Brown had envisioned keeping the kite away from the tree successfully, if his kite would not have been eaten by the tree so many times. I mean, we wouldn't have had nearly the amusement and the empathy. But, he always rehearsed failure in his mind. That was what he did. That was his mental rehearsal, his expectation. And that's what he got. Garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. But we see in the play Hamilton that a young Alexander Hamilton says, I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And there are a lot of ways that we can throw away a shot, an opportunity. But the good thing is that the universe will keep pitching them to us. The universe keeps knocking on the door, inviting us to answer, inviting us to consider it. Why? Well, I think the universe needs our gifts, wants to experience them expressed. After all, they've been given to us as sometimes something latent so that we don't even realize we have it ourselves. If we don't push into it, then we don't discover it's there, then that gift isn't given to the universe. And our risk-taking increases our enjoyment and our sense of accomplishment as we try something, as we see ourselves improving at something. So the universe gives us really unlimited shots, but we can miss them. We can be oblivious. When we risk failure and we learn something, we also inspire those around us to try. I think maybe one of the reasons that Toby could try is he made 2 friends at camp right off the bat who both had ADHD just like he does. And the 3 of them became like the 3 musketeers at this camp. And I imagine one or both of the boys went up the rock wall, and so Toby went too. When we inspire one another, we can get ourselves to try things we were afraid of. And if we're the ones that take the risk first, we can then empower or inspire others. And then we expand the possibilities for success for everyone. Because, as you may have heard, there's only one mind. And so when we enter something into the universal consciousness that is an expanded possibility, it becomes available for everybody, not just for us. So what we do for ourselves lifts up this possibility and makes it more visible and more available for others, those that are immediately around us, but also anybody that's in the pool of consciousness can tap into that as well. If we don't go toward it, holding back from trying can be one way that we throw away a shot, talking ourselves out of it. Or giving up too soon can be a way of throwing away our shot, can be a way of talking ourselves out of it because I'm not progressing fast enough, so this must not be working. This happens a lot for people when they're first in the science of mind and they're learning affirmations or they're learning how to do our form of affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment. They start and something doesn't show immediate results and they think, this stuff doesn't work or I'm doing it wrong. What's the use? Or this is too complicated to figure out. I have to think all the time. Am I doing this right? So I'm just not going to bother. And yet, that's giving up too soon. Because like anything else we do in repetition, it gets easier. In fact, not only does it get easier, it gets clearer and it gets embodied in us so that more and more we feel it and it flows and we get it. I know for many of you that already makes sense. For some of you, you have to trust me. And the other is never trying at all, not just holding back, but just looking at it and going, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying that. I won't go there. I won't do that. I won't attempt that. But the challenge is that it's a shot that's something that appeals to us. If it doesn't appeal to you at all, then it's not necessary to even try. But if it's something that pulls a little bit and you don't take it, you just refuse it completely, that's something that we go away and regret because we never know what would have happened, what might have happened, how good it might have been, how much we might have enjoyed it, or how good a laugh we might have gotten out of it. I was filling out one of those stupid lists on Facebook not too long ago that said, how many of these things have you done? And one of the ones that I did not check off was singing karaoke. And a friend of mine from high school said, how have you not ever sung karaoke? And I said, fear. Yes, I've been in plays where I sang. I've been in musicals where I had leads, where I had to sing. It's not one of my strong suits, so the idea of doing karaoke in front of a lot of people mostly seems like I would sound bad and people would be embarrassed for me. And what he said back to me was, it doesn't matter how good you are, as long as you make it really fun when you're doing it. And I thought that was a great response. Because the point was not to be perfect and impress everybody, but to get up there and have a good time, right? How many of you have sung karaoke? Yeah, quite a few of you. Did you have a good time? Was it fun? Yeah, universal yes for those that have done it. So here's the thing. Take your shot. How do we know how far into the stars we can get if we don't shoot for the moon or the stars at all? We might stay earthbound, but if we take the shot, maybe we leave the stratosphere. We get to experience the galaxies, the universe, the amazement of beauty and be in the midst of it. Every shot increases our likelihood of success. Todd Michael said in the 12 Conditions of a Miracle, when a cherished dream manifests, the work is far from over. As the dream begins to appear, the real work is just beginning. Great care and vigilance must be exercised at this critical point to sustain the manifestation. And this is done by letting the dream fill you completely. Gratitude plays a crucial role in this phase. He says, you must open your eyes and pay constant attention to the wonder of your new circumstance. Let your miracle fill you with wonder, appreciation, and enthusiasm. A lot of times when that happens, we have a moment of gratitude and then we go right on. You know, what's the next thing on the list, on the to-do list? And what we really need is time to savor and celebrate into the yumminess and really anchor in that feeling, in that success. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote with his brother Fenwick in the voice celestial, obedient to love's compelling inspiration, our dreams designs and builds some new creations. From love comes sculpture and the painter's art. The poet weaves a phrase that moves the heart. From love's compelling inspiration. And so I want to continue and close with a little story this morning. There is a playwright, Deborah Zoe Laufer. She's the author of 13 plays, most of which have been produced, and one of them you might even have seen. In 2002, around that time, The Last Schwartz, one of her plays, was produced at the Marin Theater Company, and Jill Eikenberry and Michael Tucker were in it. So this was about 20 years ago. She's an award-winning playwright, but she wanted to be an actress. And so after she graduated from college, she headed to Los Angeles to pursue that dream. Okay, she took that first shot, right? But then on a whim, second shot, she submitted a play she'd written to the Missoula Colony Performance Venue and was surprised when her work was accepted. So she'd gone to LA for something else, a risk she was taking, and then this happened to come up and she just decided to go for it. And she put that play in. She took that shot. Well, what happened was the colony's co-founder, Marcia Norman, who also taught at Juilliard, said to her, you know you're a playwright, don't you? And that was a lightning rod moment that propelled her into her career as a playwright. She got accepted to Juilliard into the playwriting program, and off she went from there. Because twice, right in a row, she took her shot. She could have gone to LA and not put this play into competition because, after all, she was there to be an actor, not a playwright. She could have stayed at home after she graduated from college and thought, you know, nobody really makes it in Hollywood or New York. It's so few people make it. What's the point of spending the money to go there and hang out and try to work as a waitress and give up after 10 years or something? No, she took that shot because the dream was sparkling. And then this thing turned up and she took another shot. I had this happen to me once. I happened to be with a friend and we were somewhere Maybe we were actually, I don't even know. And we saw this sign. We had both been in the drama club in high school. We had just graduated from high school. And we saw this sign that said there were auditions for this summer program. And I said, oh, that would be fun. Let's just go in and audition for it. Just what the heck. So without having anything prepared, we just went in and did whatever it was they wanted us to do. And it was really fun. And then just let it go. And a number of weeks went by. And I got this lovely envelope in the mail saying to me that I'd been accepted to this summer theater program as a performer. And that was a shot I took without thinking about it. I just saw it and said, well, it would be fun to audition. Let's go do that. I didn't expect anything. I just wanted to have fun in the moment, and I did. Then I got into this summer program that was growthful and fun and challenging, and some of the things I did well and some of the things I didn't do well, and it was really a great experience for that summer after high school at the Bathhouse Theater up in Seattle. So the idea is, take the shot. Fall on your face, get up, adjust your aim, take another shot. You'll notice in our altar over here that a lot of these darts did not make it all the way to the target. And we do have, though, an arrow in the target here that got pretty close to the bullseye and definitely got into the target. But if you don't let go of the dart or the arrow, for sure, it's not going to hit the mark. I talk about intention in my book as being something that requires both dedication to the goal and letting go of the outcome simultaneously. And I give the example of archery, that if you want to shoot an arrow, you take very careful aim, you get yourself steady, you draw back on the bow, and then you let it go. And once you let it go, it's out of your control. The wind may come and take it. God forbid somebody walks in front of it. The target might fall over. We don't know what's going to happen once we let it go. But for sure, it's not going to work if instead of doing that, we grab the arrow, run down the aisle, and try to jam it into the target. Now, we might get it right into the bullseye if we even have enough impetus and oomph to get it in there. But there's no sense of satisfaction or accomplishment in that. Does this make sense what I'm saying to you? So we have to let go of the arrow. But if we've got the arrow and the bow and we see the target, for God's sake, take your shot. So let's take that. Thank you. Thank you. So let's take that within, all right? So as we move within, we know and recognize that there is one presence, one power, one life. It is the presence, power, and life of the infinite, of God. And everything that comes forth from that one is imbued with its qualities, with its presence, with its life, with its awareness. And that is true of all that is and of every one of us. So with gratitude, we fluff up our willingness. We infuse ourselves and embody the vision. We allow ourselves to rehearse success. We step forward into the experience and we take our shot, knowing that the infinite presence is unfolding perfectly through us for our highest good, no matter what the outcome in this moment is. And that whatever that outcome is, it also serves and supports us in our expansion and growth in all good ways if we let it. And so we let it. We do in group consciousness together today, support one another in seeing those shots, those opportunities. We support each other in consciousness in knowing that there is more than enough courage and daring in this room to take that shot. We are so grateful to know this for ourselves and for each other and for Golden Gate, to accept the challenge, the opportunity, the gift. And so with great gratitude at all of this, we release this prayer into the creative law of mind and spirit, where it can do nothing but say yes. We let it go and surrender into that goodness with great gratitude and just let it be. And together we say, and so it is. And please stand and join me in the morning's affirmation now. As we say together, I release my reluctance to going forward boldly. Fear has no power over me. I am always willing to try something I don't know how to do and to discover more good in my life. And so it is. Now let's say that one more time and really get into the feeling of this now, okay? I release my reluctance to going forward boldly. Fear has no power over me. I am always willing to try something I don't know how to do and to discover more good in my life. And so it is. Yes, you may be seated. That is exactly how we do it. So I want to invite the ushers to come forward now as we prepare to move into our offering time. And remember that you can text to donate. You can donate in a variety of ways from our website. You can always write a check. Whatever serves you best in terms of participation financially, because one of the things you'll find is that no matter how much or how little you have, when you give, it increases your capacity in your awareness and your ability to give, but also to receive. As we send forth, we open that up. And you want to have the receptive side open as well as the giving side. So that flow can be a continuous process and not stops and starts. We don't want to hold back in our giving because then we also plug up our receiving. We want to be in the flow. So it's our practice to bless what we give, to bless it right here in this room for everything we've given this week, and also for Golden Gate to be able to bless everything that we send out and all that we're receiving today. So we say this in unison. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. And this is Lisa Bell.
Often blinded by the baggage of our history, trying to keep us in our place. Reliving moments better left let go of misery. Change the rules we can't embrace. One face, one race. We are all the same beneath. One face, one race. Natural diversity. Our place in time is just a momentary fantasy in this illusion we call life. So come with me, wipe away this inhumanity. Together we can make it right. One face, one race. We are all the same beneath. One face, one race. Natural diversity. Joy. Peace. Love. All that ain't no bad if we don't start to embrace. One face, one race. We are all the same beneath. One face, one race. traccia la diversità. Have a dream where there ain't no room for ignorance. Everyone will have a choice. The only power be the power to make a difference. Sing it out as if one voice, one face, one race. We are all the same beneath one face, one race. Traccia la diversità. Gotta bring joy, gotta bring peace. Love, una faccia, una razza. Gotta bring joy. We're all the same, we're all the same. One face, one race. Una faccia, una razza. Oh, we are all the same beneath. Oh, gioia, pace, una faccia, una razza. We are all the same. We are all the same beneath.
And so on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, we, all of us here, accept this offering with gratitude. We send it out into the world to bring people courage to take their shot. And so it is. All right, if you are here with us for the very first time this morning, we are so grateful that you made it on this rainy Sunday. You're going to find back on the far table welcome packets, and in them, blue welcome cards. If you fill this out and turn it in back there, we will give you a little book as our gift, as a thank you for being here with us this morning, and also as our encouragement to come and join us again in the future. We would love to be part of your spiritual family and have you here with us often. And I want to thank everyone who participated in putting the morning together. I want to thank the Frost family for the reminder of Ukraine with the wonderful sunflowers and all of the taking our shot opportunities up here, both the hits and the misses. They're great. And so let's acknowledge everybody that's been in the process of helping set up and create the morning. I want to let you know that our fellas are doing a men's brunch next Sunday, following the Sunday morning celebration. This does not mean it's only for men. It means they're doing it. They are preparing the food. They are setting up the tables. They are doing the serving. They're collecting the $10. They're doing the cleanup, the whole deal. And the guys do this quarterly. It's a great morning. It's a great opportunity. So next week, come, bring your appetite, bring your $10. If you're out there in the world somewhere with access to Corte Madera in Marin County, California, be here next Sunday morning at 10 for the service, and then stay afterwards with $10 to enjoy the brunch, and we'll get a chance to welcome and get to know you too. That is, and the proceeds go to Golden Gate, so we're grateful for that. I'm going to be teaching Foundations class, which is our basic beginning class. It's the introduction to our philosophy. It's also a great review. One of my past students said, I'd taken Foundations before, but I think I learned more this time. Sometimes a review later, you'd be surprised what you discover. So I want to invite one of our new members up, Bruce Stagbrook, who is going to share a little bit about his experience of Foundations class, which he took before he transferred to us here.
Thanks. Hey everybody, I'm Bruce Stagbrook, and like Mary said, I found the Center for Spiritual Living not too long ago, and took the Foundations class pretty soon after. And I guess what I want to share, instead of saying what the class is, I want to share what I got out of it for myself. And And I was thinking about it. This is really what I got. I'd come to the Center for Spiritual Living, and I'd feel something incredible when the practitioners were praying, and I could feel like a little part inside of myself that was like, I can do that too. But it was just like the tiniest whisper. And I feel like in the foundations class, what I got were tools and practices to be able to have that experience on purpose, to have it, instead of it being a coincidence, something that I'd need to come to the Center for Spiritual Living for, something that really identified with living inside of myself. And so having, and it's like that part of myself that's like really awesome. The me that I want to be, I get to be that on purpose. And I feel like I got more tools out of Foundations to have that version, the awesome version of myself, be the one that's expressed out here in the world more. So yeah, and it was a turning point for me. Like I haven't gone back since. So I haven't gone back to the way before since. So.
Okay. Thank you, Bruce. So if you're interested in learning more about the philosophy or just living more in that place, and you could use a review, my Foundations class is going to start this Thursday. Fingers crossed. I don't want to have to delay it for a week. I want to start it this Thursday. And it's from 6 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. You can register on the website. And there's information about it in your bulletin this morning. And registration's open. So there's also a pre-class reading to do, which is about 9 pages in the Science of Mind textbook. So just be aware of that too. All right. Spring has gone. Summer has gone. Fall is here. We're almost to the autumn equinox and Mabon, the Celtic festival of fall and harvest. So in the fall, we have people sign up to bring snacks each week. And so I want to invite you to do that. But you don't have to bring them each week, you just bring them 1 week per month. You can sign up on the back table, you can talk to our snacks team this morning, find out more about that, and we look forward to welcoming more of you into bringing some of the Sunday morning snacks, healthy or otherwise. Also, ladies, we have been invited to participate in the Congregational Community Churches, or Community Congregational Churches Women's Retreat, which is coming up on Saturday, October 15th from 9:30 to 4:30 in their beautiful seminar room. And the labyrinth is going to be available. You can see a picture of it here for that practice. So it's deepening spiritual practices together. There are these little flyers on the back table if you're interested with more information about how you can register. And the day is $50 and includes catered lunch. Also, our climate action tip of the week this week is spread your bounty or pay it forward. If you have things at home that are useful, but you're no longer using them, from clothing to tools to stuff in your kitchen junk drawer, whatever it might be, there are places you can donate those things to let other people put them to good use. So some of those possible places are listed up here. You can post when things are available for free. You can always put them out on the sidewalk. People do that a lot up where I live, and stuff gets taken, especially their extra fruit goes out. But whatever you have, find a way to pay it forward. Donate it somewhere. You can also look for things that you need that you might not mind having one that's been passed forward. So give that a shot. Check out some of those yourself. All right. So I want to remind you that you can make prayer requests in several different ways. You can always call the office and leave a request on the voicemail there, but it might be more effective to put in a prayer request on Sunday, a written prayer request, or to fill out the prayer request form on the website. Either of those will get prayed over for the full week. Our practitioners who are on duty this morning will be the ones praying on the requests that go into the box today. And that box, that prayer box, is always available over there on Sundays with request forms. So please take advantage of that. But the very best of all is to go over and have one of these practitioners do a prayer for you right here on Sunday morning. So take advantage of that availability of service that is here. These people are trained to sit with you, to know the truth for you, to speak the word for you, and allow you to be there and absorb it into your experience and your life. So we encourage that. So I want to invite the practitioners now to surround the room so that we can enfold everyone in this consciousness together. Our practitioners are licensed by Centers for Spiritual Living. They renew those licenses every 2 years until they've been in practice for 30 years. Then they don't have to go through the renewal process anymore. And we do have a number that have been doing this for 30 years. So this is the opportunity to turn within. So let's complete our prayer, and then we'll move right into the benediction. Right here and right now, we breathe in the atmosphere of the divine presence. Right here and right now, we breathe out everything that appears to be unlike it. All those false beliefs and ideas and fears and limitations and judgments, we just breathe them out. They were never really ours anyway. We breathe in wholeness. We breathe out brokenness, confusion, doubt. We breathe in life, energy. With great gratitude, we step into this week knowing that our opportunities are within our grasp, and we are fully prepared and capable of stepping forward, putting those opportunities to good use in our lives with gratitude, with appreciation, with celebration, regardless of how well or poorly we do. We are so blessed to know this and to be able to surrender it into the creative law together now. For what we do in consciousness together manifests with more power because of our joined consciousness. So we let this go into the law together. And for all those of you that choose to claim this for yourselves as well, please join me as I say, and so it is. Yes, and so it is. Please stand and join me for the benediction. And the closing song is one that you all know. It's one we're going to sing along to. But we did this a few weeks ago with Josh, and it was quite clear that everybody really knew the song. So I'm going to expect you to sing out when it comes up. But for now, let's say this together. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally, and so it is. There we go.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend.